Welcome to the series of videos that are for the Just in Time for second grade. We're going to be going over material for the second 9 weeks. Hello, my name is Teresa Carroll. I'm the Elementary Math Curriculum Coordinator. There are going to be a series of 4 videos for you to choose from, or you can watch all of them. Video 1, we're going to go over the purpose of the just-in-time videos, and we're going to go over ongoing review, which is that first component of your math block that's supposed to be for 20 minutes a day, every single day. Then video 2, you'll notice is not on the screen. That's because it is a YouTube video that I'm going to link where Mike Flynn is going to talk about what it means to be good at mathematics. And so I think it's a valuable video for you to watch. In video 3, we are going to go over the module in kind of a bird's eye view, talk about the priority standards, the data associated with those standards, as well as dive into some of the strategies and lessons that are in the module. And finally, in video 4, we're going to take a fresh look at the hard to teach, hard to learn skills and a resource or strategy that you can use in your instruction to help support that. So again, welcome to the Just in Time for the second 9 weeks for second grade. I'm not going to click on the video. It's going to be video number 2, but just to give you an over idea, because I will be talking about it in some of the other videos, we often think of the concrete, representational, abstract progression as a linear progression. And when we think of it in a linear progression, we think that the ultimate goal then is to reach abstract island, to be an abstract mathematical thinker. And if kids never get to that abstract stage, then that means they're not good at math. Well, math isn't always about being an abstract thinker. We have to provide students with opportunities to work with conceptual and application level practice. We need to stop rushing students to the abstract algorithm. Rather, we need to think about mathematics, someone that's strong at mathematics, as having a strong bridge between concrete and representational thinking, that they can go back and forth between those two types of thinking as needed. And someone that's good in math has built a strong bridge between representational and abstract thinking and can go back and forth fluidly between those two representations. Now we're going to dive into ongoing review. Ongoing review is the first 20 minutes of your math block every day. Some important information about it. The ongoing review routine follows the read, draw, write problem-solving model that was in Bluebonnet. So the students will read the problem throughout the course of the week. They're going to draw and label a mathematical representation. They're going to write a number sentence or equation and solve when appropriate, and they're going to write their answer in a complete sentence. Each set of the ongoing review is designed to be used on a 5-day week because there's 5 different exercises or activities to complete, but it can be adapted for shorter weeks. Each day of the ongoing review is designed to be completed in about 10 minutes. So even though there are 20 minutes on paper for you to be completing this routine every day, it should only take anywhere from 5 to 10 minutes, and you can take the leftover time and bank it and put it in your math block. So very quickly, the 5 different activities that you're going to be doing with the problem. On day 1, you are introducing the problem. Only the problem stimulus is presented. That means that there's no question stem and there are no answer choices. This forces students to slow down and think about the context of the problem and removes that compulsion to solve it. The second day is they're going to really dig in and decompose the problem. The full question is presented, including the answer choices if applicable. Students talk about how they would get started solving the problem, and they start formulating a plan. On the third day, the answer is given to the problem. This lightens your cognitive load for your students that have unfinished learning and struggle in math. The answer is already there. We just have to figure out how to get to the answer. And it also takes away the compulsion to shout the correct answer to some of your other students. Everybody has the correct answer. Everybody's starting from a level playing field. Students talk about how they know the answer given is a reasonable answer, And they can talk about how they know the other answers are unreasonable. Students discuss 2 different ways they could get to the same correct answer. The 4th exercise, they're going to try a different problem. The hardest part of learning math is taking the information the teacher is teaching and learning how to apply those skills in novel situations. That's what this day is all about. They take everything they've been working on all week and apply it in a new context. The new question assesses the same skill or same TEKS, but it looks different. Students compare and contrast the 2 problems and the strategies they used for solving the 2 problems. This day ends with an exit ticket to formatively assess what they've been working on all week. The exit ticket is the new problem that was presented this day. Before the next day, day 5, the teacher will sort the exit tickets into a got it pile and a didn't get it yet pile. Then they will dig through the didn't get it yet pile and choose their favorite no for day 5. On day 5, it's a reflection day. The teacher conducts a routine called My Favorite No, where she presents the exit ticket chosen the previous day and has students analyze what went right about the student's work and where the error occurred. It is important that the teacher intentionally chooses the exit ticket in order to capitalize on this time. Maybe they chose the exit ticket because the student committed a common error that the teacher wants to highlight. Maybe they chose this exit ticket because the student was very close to getting the right answer and the teacher wanted to take that moment and celebrate. Whatever their reason for choosing, they just need to make the choice intentionally. So let's look at an example. The example we're going to look at comes from week 16. And the TEK they're assessing this week is solving one-step and multi-step problems. So for exercise 1, the problem stem is presented without any questions and without any answer choices. At a Halloween party, Kristen collected 45 pieces of candy. The next week, she ate some of the candy. Now Kristen has 19 pieces of candy left. The students are asked, what do you see? What do you notice? What do you wonder? And the teacher is jotting down their ideas as they're shouting out. And what mathematical questions could we ask with this information? So the teacher's also jotting down the mathematical questions that we could answer using the information that's been given to us. And that's it for day 1. That's why I said it only takes 5 or 7 minutes. Day 2, the entire problem, including the question stem, how many pieces of candy did Kristen eat? And this is a multiple choice question, so the answer choices are provided. The teacher will start by reflecting on the work from yesterday, the questions that the students predicted. Did anybody predict the correct question? Oh, look, Derek guessed that it was going to ask about how many pieces of candy Kristen ate. Good job. And then we launch into the learning for today. Now that we know the question, we can talk about what is the information that is important. What information do I need in order to answer that question? So the teacher would go back and write it down or highlight it and circle it. And then students would take a time to talk to their partner about what they would do to get started. Maybe they would draw a strip diagram. Maybe they would represent both of the quantities with base 10 blocks or quick 10 drawings. However they choose to get started, they're brainstorming a list of possible ways they would start to solve this problem. After they've talked to their neighbors and as they're shouting out the ways that they would get started, the teacher is making a list of those ways on chart paper. For the 3rd day, the same question is presented, but now we know the answer. The answer is Kristen ate 26 pieces of candy. The first thing they're going to do today is explain 2 ways to get to the correct answer. So the teacher would refer back to the work from yesterday, look at the list of all the different ways we said that we would get started. I want you to work with your partner and use that list, and I want you to solve this problem 2 different ways. And so they would work with their partner and explain 2 different ways to get to the same answer. And then this is one of the most powerful questions. What mistakes do we need to avoid? Having the students come up with a list of possible misconceptions and possible errors, it's much more powerful than having the teacher come up with the possible errors. On exercise 4, we have the problem that we have been working with all week on the left, and then we have a brand new problem on the right that tests or assesses the same skill. So the students are going to look at the two questions and they're going to talk about how are these two assessment items similar and how are they different. As they talk to their neighbors, they're discussing the problems, and then they're sharing out loud while the teacher writes it down. Right off the bat, without even reading the second problem, I can see that the first problem was multiple choice. So I had 4 answers. Worst case scenario, I can, eliminate some and then guess. But on the right, I don't have any answer choices. I'm going to have to come up with the answer myself. And I notice that it's using pictures, models, or strip diagrams to help me solve. In addition to discussing the problems themselves, how is the process of solving this problem similar or different from the previous problem? Maybe in the previous problem they subtracted, but in the new problem they're going to have to add and subtract. I don't know, but they're going to discuss how the process of solving the problems is going to be similar and different. At the end of this day, there's a link at the bottom to an exit ticket. The exit ticket is this new problem. You do have to print them out. They're not in a workbook or anything, but we did put 2 problems per page to help save paper. After the students have solved the problem on the exit ticket and turned it in, the teacher will sort them into piles. One pile is the I've got it correct pile, and the other pile is the not yet pile. The teacher will then go through the not yet pile and choose their favorite no, again, being intentional about why they're choosing that particular one. For day 5, they could be fancy and take a picture of it and upload it to the slide deck, or they could just stick it under a document camera, making sure to remove the student's name. Either way, they're looking at the student's work, and they start with, what about this student's work makes me happy? We are setting a positive culture in our classroom where everybody can do math. Even a person who got the answer wrong did something right. So we're establishing that positive culture. After they've discussed the things the student did correct, maybe they drew a strip diagram, maybe they followed the strategies, maybe they added correctly, but they forgot the second step. Either way, we're highlighting the good things first. Then we analyze, where do you see a problem with this person's work? Now we're stamping the error that the student made, hopefully ingraining it in the other student's brain so that the mistake will not happen again. They end by reflecting on their work. How do you feel about your learning this week on a scale of 1 to 4? And that is the end of the ongoing review routine.